Well, hello, I am Matt Williamson. How's everyone this fine day? Let's break down when Green Bay has the football. Boy, Jordan Love is rough, man. And their receivers are often not, quote, on the same page. So young, man. I mean, they're a tough watch sometimes. Green Bay's offense averages 5 yards a play. Steelers D gives up 5.5. Steelers defense is second at 36% in terms of usage of 4 defensive backs on the field and 5th in dime. So they're 30th in nickel. So they really have been heavy or light. I wonder if Holcomb's injury changes that much going forward. Just something to keep an eye on. They have played some teams that like a lot of heavy personnel, which explains some of it. But this has been a trend for a couple of years. The Packers convert a set of downs into a new set of downs 69% of the time. League average is 70%. Steelers sit right at league average defensively at 70%. Only the Titans, who they just played, have a deeper average depth of target downfield than Green Bay, and no defense is seeing a deeper average depth of target than the Steelers. So everyone throws deep against the Steelers. Packers throw deep. I mean, is that we're going to keep up? If you can protect. The Titans and Seahawks are the only offenses with a higher percentage of their pass attempts that are 20 or more yards downfield. Just 3 defenses have a better completion percentage allowed, though, than the Steelers. And we've talked about this a lot. People throw deep on them, but they don't complete a lot of passes against the Steelers. Love's completion percentage is better than only P.J. Walker and Anthony Richardson. Terrible. All of Love's 8 interceptions have come over the past 6 games, and he has thrown just 6 touchdowns over that stretch. All 8 of Love's interceptions have come on passes downfield, 10 yards or more downfield. So, yeah, he's throwing deep, but he's also getting a lot picked off down there, too. Pittsburgh has allowed just 2 passing touchdowns over their past 4 games and just 1 to a wide receiver during that time. However, the Steelers give up 137, which is 5th most yards per game to receivers aligned outside the numbers, as well as the 5th most to receivers aligned in the slot. Not so great. Packers have 7 players with at least 10 receptions. Against the Rams, 9 different Packers were targeted, with Aaron Jones leading the way with 6, his highest target total of the season. Christian Watson played 42 of 47 snaps in Week 9 before leaving with injury, but he was targeted just once in that game. Romeo Doubs matched a season-low 3 targets last week. He has failed to top 36 yards in 4 straight games and in 6 of 8 this season. Over his past 4 games, Doubs has just 10 receptions for 88 yards. But he does have the NFL's second most end zone targets. Doubs has 14 more targets Doubs has 14 more targets than any other Packers pass catchers. Jaden Reed's 333 receiving yards leads the Packers. He and Puka Nacua are the only 2 rookies leading their team in receiving yardage. Green Bay is the only team in the league with 2 rookies with 200-plus receiving yards in Reed and tight end Luke Musgrave. Musgrave set a career high with 51 receiving yards last week. He also caught his first touchdown. He averaged just over 2 yards per route run, which is great for a tight end. Kind of breaking out a little bit. I like Musgrave a lot. Last week, Green Bay had 5 plays that gained 20 or more yards. That was their highest number of 20-plus gains in the entire season. Good time to take a break. We'll come back here and talk mostly pass game and pass rush when I get back. Quick sip of water. Here we go. So, 11 different Steelers have recorded a sack this season. Last week, Will Levis was sacked 4 times and was pressured on 46% of his dropbacks. Love was also sacked 4 times in Week 9. Pittsburgh's defense is 4th in pressure rate. However, the Packers' pressure rate allowed is the best in the NFL. So, they have O-line injuries, but they throw deep, and their pressure rate is still very low. TJ Watt has 7.5 sacks in 5 home games this season and needs 1 sack in his next 5 games to pass his brother for second most sacks for a player in his first 100 career games. Just need to get 1 in the next 5. After last week's game, Alex Highsmith now has 5 career games with 2 or more sacks. Highsmith was credited with 10 pressures last week, the most of any single player in the whole league last week. Green Bay ran for 184 yards last week, with Jones leading the way with 73. 4 different Packers got at least 4 rushing attempts. This was the first time Jones received 20 more carries since week 10 of last year, and the first time in 2023 that Jones got double-digit carries. Starting to get healthy, they're starting to feature him. Love is the Packers' second leading rusher with 164 yards through 8 games. A.J. Dillon leads the team in rushing still with 266, but he averages just 3.1 yards per carry. Just 4.8 of Dillon's carries have gone for 10 or more yards, which ranks 44th out of 47 running backs with at least 50 rushing attempts. Last week, Dillon played less than 50% of Green Bay's offensive snaps for the first time all season. His touches and scrimmage yards have fallen in 3 straight weeks. He might be done. Dillon looks bad. The Steelers' defense allows 141.8 yards per game to opposing backfields. That's 29th. They've allowed over 100 rushing yards in 5 straight games. The Steelers also allow the 5th most yards per receptions to running backs. Not great. It's pretty much the end of the defense stuff. Here's one thing I think is really important to know about Green Bay is not only have they played a miraculously easy schedule, but their opponents can't make field goals against them either. I mean, they have a ridiculously good field goal luck, as we like to say. They've tried 22 field goals against the Packers and made only 16. So those 6 missed kicks are crucial. And frankly, they're just kind of lucky. I think the Steelers win this one. I have a 23-16. I have a hard time getting behind what Green Bay does well. I'm sure they'll feature Aaron Jones like crazy, but I think Love is not a starting quarterback. I think Steelers run the ball well in this game, get after Love with pressure. So I think the Steelers win this one kind of handily, to be honest with you. All right, thanks. I will talk to you soon. Talk to you right after the game. Over and out.